I know, I'm still waking up. Last video, I was falling asleep. This video, I'm waking up. But, anyway, as it's now Thursday, it's time for a Throwback Thursday slash RFM video, although I never really forgot this one because it was kind of emotionally scarring for life, so I don't know that it even really belongs in RFM. It's more of just Throwback Thursday slash story time. I don't know, but regardless, this is the famous pen incident story, aka the time I got wrongfully way to totally ruin the moment, aka the time I wrongfully got suspended from high school for not doing a thing except crying. But anyway, oh my god, this story is so long and convoluted, you will not believe it. I wish I could say this was that this is gonna be a funsy RFM video, but it's not. It's not. It's all sorts of messed up, so fair warning. Hold on. I really need to do something about that, because otherwise it's gonna distract me the whole time. Hold on. I have apprehended the other iPod. I will silence it with my hand. Anyway, anyways, this goes back to my second year at high school, which most people would just call sophomore year, but I was a reclassified freshman, so just my second year of high school. And why is this relevant today? Because I think today might actually be the anniversary of this thing going down. If not, it's really, really freaking close to when it happened, since I know it was in like later October. So yeah, I don't have the exact date written down anywhere anymore. I used to, back when I still had my original LiveJournal account, but I don't have that anymore, so, you know, as you do. Anyway, so it's generally right around this time of year, and I know for a fact, yeah, anyways, getting into it, I had, for my English teacher that year, this really young teacher who basically seemed like she was either fresh out of college, if she was even graduated, like she was that young. My nose is itchy, hold on. Excuse me. Okay, so, really young teacher. The guys all liked her because they thought she was hot. I thought she looked like Heather Mills, who I already had a thing against at that point. Even though she and Paul were not yet divorced, I could just tell she was evil, but that's neither here nor there. So anyway, that would strike one against her in my book, that she looked like Heather Mills and honestly had like the same snotty attitude. But anyway, the guys loved her, the girls kind of hated her, but I hated her more than most people, so I think that worked against me in this story. But anyway, with this class, she also seemed to kind of just resent the girls in the class for whatever reason anyway. And something just always seemed off about this teacher, you know, other than the fact that she looked like Heather Mills. But, and for the record, no, I don't make the comparison because of having a peg leg. No, she had both legs. No, I mean, like, her face and her hair literally looked like Heather Mills. So, anyway, back to the story at hand. It's just, something always seemed very off with this teacher. And it only took, like, not even a year, a month, almost said a year, still waking up, guys, still drinking my coffee, to figure out what it was that was so off, that she apparently was a compulsive freaking liar, but I had no way of knowing that. So this one day, we had to do a group project, which, oh dear god, as an introvert, I friggin' hate group projects, but I hate them even worse when, well, I hate two versions of them. I hated the version where, just because people would assume I was probably the nerdiest person there, that, oh, well, let her do all the work and we'll just take the credit. Yeah, that sucked enough, but the other way around would be when everyone, except for like one or two people in the group, were like their own little clique, and they would just basically expect everyone in the group to put their names down on it, but they would like actually take over. It's like, yeah, you guys just like don't even talk to us. Just leave us alone, we'll handle it. Yeah, it was one of those kind of projects, and this is where the first initial drama comes in that spiraled this whole thing happening. So because they didn't want me to have any input in this project whatsoever, okay, fine. I will mind my own goddamn business, and I will just do my own thing. So I pulled one of my Beatle books out of my backpack, since it was pretty common that I always carried one with me, because my autistic ass liked to memorize them word for word. Like, not even joking. I actually still have the book in question. I was gonna go grab it for this video, but I didn't feel like taking down my whole Zoom Zoom collection to get to it behind them, so. But it was, the Ultimate Beatles quiz book, in case anybody's curious. Volume 1. So, anyway, nobody cares, but yeah, I've honestly considered repurchasing a brand new copy just so it's not tainted by this whole situation, but I don't know. Anyways, so I'm just sitting there, minding my own goddamn business, just quietly reading this book. I am being distracting to absolutely no one. The guy next to me, who is also ostracized from doing anything on this project, has headphones on so loud to where, yeah, that actually is distracting, and that, I think, is what got this teacher's attention to cruise by, yank the Walkman out of his hand and the headphones off his head, swiped the book out of my hand. I was just like, what the hell? She's like, you done with your project? I was like, they won't even let me help with it. It's like, too bad. And she just walked away with it and locked it in her desk. I'm just like, what the hell? You can't take my book. When am I getting that back? She's like, you're not. I'm selling it at a garage sale. And at that point, I didn't know that, A, that would actually be illegal of her to do, because that's literally theft of a student's personal property, and actually, my dad could have sued her for it if she had actually done that, but I didn't know that at the time. So, since I thought I had no rights, I just kind of quietly put my head down and started sobbing, because I'm me, and it takes literally nothing to make me cry. Kids used to exploit the shit out of that fact throughout pretty much all of school, just since I pretty much had, like, eggshells for skin, essentially. Just any little thing to make Jennifer cry. It's hilarious! Come on, let's make a game out of it. Just do anything to make Jennifer cry. I hate people. Yeah, anyway, especially the people I went to school with, they were horrible, but by high school I wasn't quite as bad, but you dared touch my stuff, and you make a comment like that and you expect me to not start crying? Yeah, right. And that is how I spent literally the rest of the class period, with just sitting there with my head down, like this, crying. I mean, otherwise bothering no one, but... And all of a sudden, as everybody's packing up their shit to leave at the end of the class period, somebody decides to exploit this in the most fucked up way imaginable. Like, I could not make this shit up. Somebody decides out of nowhere to claim, Jennifer's trying to cut her wrists. With what? I'm literally sitting there. Okay, you could literally see both hands with my head down, like this, just on my arms. Very clearly doing nothing but, oh, because she's emotionally distraught, clearly there's actually something here to be concerned about. What? So she friggin' storms over there. She grabs the back of my shirt, she yanks me the fuck out of the chair, and she throws me, like, well, not throws me across the room, but she dragged me across the room to her teacher's desk and made me sit in that chair. She's like, you're staying after class. And at this point, now I'm not only crying, now I'm freaked out and terrified. I'm just like, what the fuck? What even is happening now? So, okay. So I'm sitting there, and I'm, like, literally shaking at this point. I'm so freaked out. She waits for everyone else to leave. As soon as that room's empty, she unlocks the desk, she takes the book out, slams it as hard as she can on that desk, which made me jump a mile because of how hard she did it. She's like, take your fucking book. We're going to the goddamn office. And she literally dragged me by part of my shirt to the office. And not only did she carry on this bullshit story, while giving me a sob story the entire time of how she just had a friend commit suicide recently, which is like, that'd be cool, except for the fact that I didn't actually do anything. So, alright, she gets me to the counselor's office, she gets me in there, and she explains this fucked up story that didn't even happen of how I was supposedly trying to cut my wrist. Never mind that, not a single mark on me, but okay. But then she adds to it, and she also decides to add, for I don't know what reason, other than she was a fucked up teacher, she also tried to stab me with a pen. I'm like, I wasn't even holding a pen. Whoa. Much less did I have anything on my person that could have cut, either. just for the record. But okay, what the hell? And I'm just like, really? Like, it's bad enough that a student made up one bullshit story that she's apparently decided she's off and running with, but now she's gonna add to it? Holy crap. And she makes a big deal of how she wants the cops brought in, and I'm just like, I did literally nothing. So he's just like, yeah, you need to just go for a little bit. I'll talk to Jennifer. Thank God this counselor knew me really well, knew my family really well, knew damn well that does not sound like something I would actually do. So he asked me what actually happened. And he's taking notes the whole time. And I told him how it actually went down. And he's like, is it possible that maybe while you were crying you were holding a pen like this? Maybe you shook your fist. I'm like, I was not holding a pen because the people in this group wouldn't let me contribute on that project, so why would I even have a pen out? And again, showed him my wrist. There is not a mark on me. This whole thing is made up. The only thing I did wrong was apparently read a book during class when I should have been working on a project which they wouldn't let me work on. And then I cried when my book got taken away. The rest of it was fucking made up, but okay. So he thankfully at least listened to me and knew that none of this sounded right. But you know damn well in these situations, they always take the side of the teacher over a student, pretty much every damn time. And I don't know if she thought she was going to, like, get lawsuit money out of this. I don't know what way she thought she was going to spin this. Because this woman was literally batshit insane. I found out later on I'm not the only person she did this to, even. But, I was in that office from, I think that was, God, was it first period of the day or second period of the day? I want to say it was my first period class. It's been too many years. But, I was there from then until after lunch, when I had, like, literally one class to go, I think. So they had me in there, and they did bring in the cops, and they had me tell my story to the cops. And they're like, that's interesting, because your teacher tells an entirely different story. And when they read off her story that she'd given them, she'd added another detail to this story. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I'm trying to remember which one it was she had in the police report, and which ones were the ones she told each class period, because I found out she told each class period of hers throughout the day a different story, too, of how this supposedly went down, and had no problem attaching my name to it, which is also a breach of confidentiality, but okay, that's interesting. Little did she know, I happened to have friends that were in every single one of her other class periods. So by the time lunch rolled around, and I actually got to see my friends for a little bit, I mean, I was in there till literally during lunch, when they finally let me go. Yeah, they were telling me, they were like, what the fuck did you do, Jennifer? I was like, I didn't do anything. And apparently, turned out she told one class period that I climbed on top of the gym and tried to jump off. First off, problem, I wouldn't know how to get on the gym. Like, there was a ladder you could see, but it only came halfway down from the roof, so logically, I don't even know, even if I wanted to, how one would get on there. Second problem, I'm scared of heights. Third, again, why the shit would I do that? But okay, so she told another class period that. She told a different class period that instead of the pen version of the story, she told them that I tried to stab her with a pair of scissors. Told another class period I pulled a gun on her. I think at that point in my life, I'd never even so much as held a gun, but okay, whatever. Oh my god, and it went on and on. She told everybody a different fucking story. It was just like, what the hell? Shouldn't this be sending up red alarms to anybody that she's full of shit, that she can't even keep her story straight? She's telling a different story to everybody? And she's attaching my name to it, so there is no mistake that she's making this up? Like, I don't even know. But okay, she apparently has it out for me. Freaking great. My grandpa got brought down to the school. Well, I mean, my dad got called in, but my dad had the foresight to bring my grandpa, who used to be a lawyer. That was fun. Pretty much, I thought they were going to just drop everything as of that point, because he was an intimidating guy. He could scare the crap out of just about anybody. And not just scare them, like, he would have actually followed through and sued them. He would have actually gone and done it. But he thought they were just dropping the whole thing and agreed that it was bullshit and that was the end of it. So he left and didn't think there was any reason to pursue it further. As I found out later, apparently they were this close to sending me off to a mental hospital, even though I did fucking nothing, because of what this bitch claimed. Great. Well, I'm glad that they didn't do that, but really though? Really? So, okay, fine. This was on a Friday, so I made it back in time for, like, my last class of the day, which, mercifully, all we had to do was watch a video that day, so I didn't even have to really pay attention to anything, so I just was so emotionally drained over everything and confused and scared that, yeah, I pretty much just sat in the back of the classroom and I cried there too. And at least the people in that class were less assholey than the people in the class that this happened in. So somebody was actually, like, really concerned and asked if I needed to talk. And I was like, actually, yes. And the teacher, thankfully, liked me in that class and let me go outside and explain to this person exactly what had happened. And they're just like, that's fucked up. I'm like, I know. I didn't do a goddamn thing. What the hell? But yeah, and the teacher was really curious by this point too, so he had me, like, stay literally after school just to fill him in on what happened. Because obviously, I mean, somebody randomly bursts out crying in the middle of class to the point where they have to walk outside and talk to somebody. Obviously, some shit is going down. So, luckily, I trusted this guy. This guy always had a soft spot for me anyway, because apparently he had a daughter that I reminded him a ton of, who had passed away, who also happened to be a huge Beatle fan. He had given me some of her old stuff. So, I mean, he just, in general, he liked me from the get-go. But, he was just like, oh my god. And it's like, yeah, I know. And he had been, like, practically a veteran of that school. He'd been working there so long. So, he was having none of her bullshit. He barely knew this lady, but it was just like, what the hell? If there's anything I can do, let me know. It was like, if I knew what needed to be done, trust me, I'd let you know. Just other than, please stand up for me, please? Because I need somebody in my corner on this one, because apparently people are ganging up on me and I don't even know why. So I figured, alright, fine. School's over. Going home. I need to just go relax and cry some more and just get it out of my system. Did some aromatherapy. Took a long shower with, like, lavender and sweet pea scent and stuff. Why that detail stands out to me, I don't freaking know, but it does. Probably only because I recently smelled the Bath & Body Works sweet pea scent again and was just like, oh my god, and it kind of just took me right back to that day. I was like, you know what, I don't think I can use that stuff anymore, but not that scent, but lavender, yes, but sweet pea apparently is forever etched in my brain as being attached to that. But my mom knew damn well I didn't do anything. She wanted to go kick some ass and take some names, because she knew damn well that is not anything I would do. First off, I sure as shit wouldn't hurt another person. But the fact that they were trying to claim, at a point when I had never even so much as had a suicidal ideology or anything at that point, or ideation is where I'm looking for, I'm sorry, at that point in my life, it was just totally ludicrous. And yet they had me totally second-guessing my sanity, because they kept, like, running around in circles. They were basically gaslighting me. And by midway through the next week, they really, really had me questioning my own sanity of, what if I did have a blackout and do this and I just don't remember it? And, oh my god. Yeah, no, I didn't. I really didn't, but okay, they totally had me actually questioning for a bit if maybe I did. But, I went home and I tried to relax. And the only good thing to come out of this situation is that it also landed in the tail end of that, like, 8 or 9 month spree where I had no internet because my dad took it away over something really stupid. And he decided, you know what? You deserve to have it back. So I was like, well, thank you. But, yeah, if it hadn't been for that incident, maybe I never would have gotten it back, so. But, that was, like, literally the only good thing to come out of that whole situation. But I thought the worst of it was over that day. Oh no, that was just the eye of the storm. No. Come Monday morning, there's a sign on her door, on her classroom door, with my name on it saying that I'm not welcome there, go to the office. Fucking really? fine, alright. I didn't want to go to your stupid class again anyway. Because I was already, like, worked up in knots over, how do I even face this bitch again after what she's done? Like, really? So, I was actually a little bit relieved that I did not have to go in there again. So I went to the counselor's office, and honestly, I pretty much just ended up sitting, not in the counselor's office itself, but, like, in the waiting room area, mostly because he was trying to figure out, I don't know who else's class I can put you into, because after telling all the other teachers the situation, nobody really wants you in their class. And I'm like, I literally did nothing. He's like, I know you didn't, but the stigma is there. And I'm like, really though? Fucking great. Fine. So apparently I just get to sit there and do nothing. I mean, he left the option open of if I wanted to go to the library and just either read or dick around on the computers, I could do that, but I had to actually definitely be there, and if they sent somebody to check on me, had to actually be there. I was like, that's fine. Although, if you really don't trust me that much, I could stay here and stare at the wall. I don't give a shit. But... And I think that's what I ended up doing the first day, because I was just like, wow, really? Fine. Second period rolls around. I go to my regular class of whatever it was. Thought everything was okay. Third class, over the intercom, got called back to the office again. I was like, oh my god, why won't this thing end? Oh my god. It's alright, fine. I go back. This time I'm being summoned by the vice principal. And why? Okay, fine. Now he wants to hear the whole story and hear me retell it, which my story never wavered because I knew exactly how it actually happened. Hers apparently kept changing, but apparently she paid off some people to go along with her bullshit story, and she finally picked one to stick with. I only know this, I didn't know that at the time, but I found out later on because a guy, like, he felt really guilty, like, a few months later, was like, I have something to tell you. And he, like, offered me a 20, he's like, I'm sparing the teacher's name in case somehow, someway I don't know how logically she'd find this, but in case she ever did, I'm sparing the name, but insert name of teacher here, paid me this to go along with her story to get you in trouble. I was like, are you shitting me? He's like, no, that wasn't the only one, there's like 5 others. And I'm like, that's just gross, oh my god. But see, when it was going on, I had no idea that that was a thing, but apparently this is where she claimed she got witnesses from. It's like, lovely. So how the hell did she have witnesses on something that I didn't actually do? And now this guy was just like, yeah, we might need police intervention. I'm like, for what? I didn't do a thing. He's just like, yeah, I mean, you might get suspended, you might get arrested. We don't really know which way it's gonna go. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, fine. Fine, you know what? I give up. I don't even know what you want from me at this point. And this whole thing brought in a cop again, had me talk to them. And the cop, this time, at least seemed sympathetic and like he actually believed me, but at the same time, his hands were tied. He had to take the report and compare the notes and everything. It was just like, oh my god, just great. So I'm thinking, I'm doomed. I'm going to jail. Oh my god. And of course I have like every level of paranoia going through my brain, and just like had to admit that, you know what, I don't feel okay enough to go to my next class. I just don't, not with all this going on. So unfortunately that worked against me, that I made the mistake of saying that, because they took that as a sign that, see, she's crazy, see, she probably did do it. Oh my god. I have to wonder, if this had gone down, like, in modern times, when smartphones are a thing, and you know damn well if there had been some wimpy little kid sitting there crying, you know some asshole would have started filming it, I would have had proof that I didn't do shit, and how differently this would have gone down, and if I could have actually sued that teacher for all this mess, but it wasn't, and it was before even most people had cell phones at all, even dumb phones at high school, so that's neither here nor there, but I've definitely wondered how it might have gone differently if I had gone to high school, like, at the same time that my youngest sister did. But again, there's not much point entertaining the thought, since that's not how it happened. So, Alright, fine. I go back, and I'm talking to my school counselor again about just how bad my anxiety is off the charts over this whole thing, and how I swear to God on a stack of Bibles I didn't do this thing. I don't know what to do, and he looked like he wanted to cry because he knew damn well that this was not something I would do. But at the same time, it was just like, because of the school system being the way it's set up, he really couldn't do a whole hell of a lot. I mean, he was like the one person pulling for me that he really didn't think I did this. But at the same time, what motivation would this teacher have to do this? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I've never done anything to her. I don't know. Just what the hell? And I think that was the day I ended up. Or no, it wasn't. That was the next day that I went home early. No, Monday I was there all day. The only class I went back for was gym. And that was the last period of the day that day. And in the middle of it, guess who got called to the office? Oh, fuck again. I'm so done. I'm so freaking done. And it was worse that time, because now all my stuff is locked in the gym's locker room, and by the time they were done dicking around, it was locked. And I was like, yeah, no, you find somebody to unlock that. I'm getting my stuff. I'm not going home without my stuff. I'm not going home wearing this crap. But, oh my God, it was a freaking nightmare. And given how long after school they kept me, my mom knew something was up. And that was the day of the week that my Nana usually picked me up. And my mom decided to sit in the car. And she actually saw the teacher in question walk past in the parking lot, and she somehow instinctively knew that that was the bitch. She's like, apparently she told me later, she was like, so, insert name and teacher here, does she look like Heather Mills? I was like, yes. She's like, does she have total resting bitch face? I was like, yes. I saw her. I was like, you did? Did you do something to it? Did you break her kneecaps? She's like, no, but like honestly, that probably would have made me feel better at that point. But yeah, this is why I generally didn't tell my mom shit, because I thought she'd actually like go do it. But yeah, she and I are very different people. But anyway, so she's just like, no, but I could tell looking at her, that's the bitch, and you could tell she's a bitch. You could tell she's evil. It's like, thank you, somebody agrees with me. So apparently my Nana even agreed that, yeah, something I didn't like about her either. I could sense it. It's like, unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna hold up in any of this, but thank you for at least being able to tell. So before we left, my mom's like, I want to talk to the vice principal. He's still here? I was like, yep. So we marched right back into the office, and oh my God, I thought she was going to punch him. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, she's gonna go to jail. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the time she actually does a thing that lands her butt in jail, but she managed to have just enough self-control to not. I don't know how. I honest to God thought that was going to be the day, though. Oh my God. She definitely flipped out on the guy to the point where, yeah, I guess who brought the cop back in? At least this time it was for a good reason. Didn't quite get herself arrested, but it was probably like this close. But oh my gosh, my mom was great. But anyway, she was taking no bullshit for me, because she knew damn well, especially at that point in time, this was during the first of my vegetarian streaks. She's just like, she won't even eat meat because she can't stand the thought of somebody hurting an animal. She won't swat a fly because she can't handle the thought of somebody hurting something innocent. Why the fuck do you think she would try and do that to another human? Thank you. Somebody with some sense of logic here. Somebody who freaking gets it. And oh my God, they went back and forth. Like, I, honest to God, thought they were going to get in a physical fight. I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna sit here and shut up and be silent and see how this plays out. And I'm just like, oh my God. Now, if my Nana had come in with us, it probably would have been very different. But since it was just my mom who went in, oh yeah, it got interesting. Yeah. So anyway, so I went home after all that, and I'm thinking maybe this will be the end of this nightmare. It wasn't. God, I wish it wasn't. I'm trying. Like, I am both laughing and trying not to cry just over what a clusterfuck of a mess this whole situation was. Oh my gosh. But Tuesday rolls around. I go to school. I go to what's supposed to be my first class that day, which thankfully was not. We had like a weird like block schedule setup thing. It was weird. And I got my schedule moved around because of this whole thing. So like I think what was it? Was it CCG? Or was it history? I don't know, but regardless, I know which teacher it was. But regardless, I know exactly what classroom that I made it into. No sooner had I sat in my seat and put my backpack down on the intercom, back to the office again. I'm like, oh my god, fucking hell. I'm so done with this bullshit. Oh my god. So I go back again, and they want yet another recounting of my side of this again, because, oh, more witnesses have come forward. Oh my god, fine. I will tell it yet again. And they did even admit that, your story is the only one not changing at all, but she has witnesses, and that's against you. And why would a teacher lie? It's like, better question, why would I lie about that? What the fuck? All I did was cry like a baby because the lady took my book. That's all I freaking did. Holy shit, how has this spiraled into this? Like, honestly, how? How? Explain to me. It makes no sense. And I couldn't really answer that either, but on the other hand, that vice principal was like the biggest douchebag on the planet and hated me. However, the principal was like best friends with my aunt, so I mean, nothing else. I had her on my side. She believed me. She knew me since I was a tiny ass little kid. Rest in peace. She just passed away a couple months ago. But anyway, she knew me since I was tiny. She knew damn well this didn't sound like anything I'd ever do in a million years. So she was on my side, and she actually, like, at one point asked me to step out of the office. And she pretty much reamed him a new one. I was like, whoa, somebody went to bat for me. Freaking finally. Thank God it's the principal. I thought maybe, finally, somebody with some authority can actually put a stop to this nonsense and I can move on with my life. Yeah, I mean, it was the end of it for that little bit of that day. But you know that they had to call me back yet again. Like, by the next class, I was like, oh my god. So at this point, I was like, you know what? I don't feel good. I just want to go home. I just want to go home. So, yeah, my stomach was all jacked up because thank you, anxiety. But, I ended up going home early that day because I could not deal with all of this still going on. When I knew damn well I didn't do a thing wrong. Other than apparently read a book in class. But, I mean, obviously, yeah, probably shouldn't have been doing that, but compared to the claims being made against me, that is nothing, alright? So I come back Wednesday morning, and that's the day the hammer fell. Yet again, no sooner had I sat down in my first classroom seat, still had my hand on my backpack, I remember it to this day, frickin' over the intercom again. So I'm told this time that the teacher in question, not even at school today, she's taking the rest of the week off. By the way, you're suspended. What? Are you fucking shitting me? What? Yeah, it's going on your permanent record too. But I didn't do anything. Doesn't matter. You're suspended. You're not coming back until you've seen a mental health professional. I'm like, well, fine. I actually have no problem with that, but really? How long am I suspended for? I don't know. How long's it going to take you to get checked out by a mental health professional and have them tell us that nothing's wrong with you? Oh my god. Okay, fine. Fine. So I call my dad, I have him pick me up, and he took me home. My mom's like, you know what? Don't even be mad. It's a free vacation from school. You did nothing wrong. So this is a free vacation from school. I'm like, yeah, it's a free vacation from school, but it's basically clinching I'm going to fail every class this semester. You know that, right? She's like, who cares? You're just gonna retake them anyway. Which, honestly, given how the previous year had gone, yeah, she's right. Uh, she knew me well. It's neither here nor there. But yeah, I had kind of just given up on the public school system by this point, or even trying, but so fine. I was just like, you know what? You have a good point. I shouldn't have guilt over this because I didn't do anything. And honestly, it was, in a roundabout way, a blessing in disguise. For two reasons. One, it got me hooked up with my therapist of what ended up being like 8 years, who I loved and adored, and honestly, if my insurance covered her, I would happily go back to in a heartbeat because I just loved the shit out of this woman. She's still practicing, she's still like literally down the street. So, there's that. It actually gave me an excuse to finally see a therapist. Because my mom always had a hang up over, all they do is blame everything on the mom. It's like, well, guilty conscience much. There's a reason that's your go-to thing here. But regardless, and it gave me validation for my panic attacks, my anxiety and depression and OCD, and eventually got me my Asperger's diagnosis, which I probably never would have gotten had I not been seeing this person. So, like I said, blessing in disguise, because I don't think I would have ever gotten to see a professional had it not been for this. But she did agree that, yeah, no, this whole thing sounds jacked up, and you do not sound like the type of person who'd do that. You sound mentally stable. It's like, thank you. Because I am, thank you very much. I mean, I'm an anxiety case, but otherwise I'm pretty mentally stable, thanks. So obviously they ended up having to let me go back to school because she was able to sign off that I was okay. But anyway, it was a blessing in disguise for that. And it was a blessing in disguise because it did finally put an end to bullying for me. Because, funny thing, once a rumor like that starts about a person, do you really think people keep bullying the kid that has something like that attached to their name? As of the day I went back, I shit you not, this is not an exaggeration, I'd walk down the hall and a lot of people would literally back up away from me because they honest to God thought I was like dangerously insane. And given that I had been bullied since kindergarten, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna correct them. If this stops them harassing me every day, you know what? Cool. I'm just not even going to correct it, even though I knew in my heart of hearts I would never hurt another person, so what the hell? Alright. I mean, it was weird, and it hurt my feelings the first day, but the more I thought about it, I was like, wait. You know what? Nobody tried to push me downstairs today. Nobody hit me today. Nobody called me a shitty name today. Nobody made fun of my appearance today. Nobody made fun of the way I walked. You know what? I could live with this. I mean, it's probably not the greatest thing to have attached to my name, but I could live with it if it means that I don't get bullied. And yeah, honestly, even when the initial shock factor of people literally like backing the hell away from me in hallways wore off, they really never did start bullying me ever again at that school. It was like, finally, some respect. I mean, I wish it could have come in any other way other than, a teacher going off the deep end and making up a story that wasn't real about me, but okay. I will take that. Now, here's where it gets interesting. 6 months later, she was removed from our district. Not just our school, our entire school district. She got pregnant from a student. I'm sorry, I'm smug as fuck. I am smug as fuck. Because just like I told you she's a fuck up. But not only that, before that happened, she tanked like 3 other people's names the same way she did it to me, all of whom didn't actually do a damn thing. So it's like, so it wasn't anything necessarily personal against me, given she also did it to these other 3 people. Wow, okay. But yeah, I was just like, I have no idea why I'm the person that got singled out, why she thought I'd be probably figured I'd be the easy target because I was so quiet that I generally didn't even, talk in class. Much less did she think I'd fight back, probably. So she probably thought she'd just get away with this bullshit story and whatever she figured she'd get out of it. I don't even know. I really don't know, because even in classes that I failed, I was usually the teacher's pet in most classes. Usually because I had, such old people interests that they could all relate to me. I even had one math teacher who, I commend him. He wanted me to be able to understand this material so hard that he would give the rest of the class like one assignment, and mine, it would be the same problems, but he'd reword them to be Beetle related, thinking that would be the thing to make it make sense in my head. Unfortunately, it didn't work because math just over my head, but he went above and beyond for me, just trying his damnedest to make me get it. He wanted me to succeed so badly. A lot of teachers wanted me to succeed that I unfortunately just didn't put in the effort on that I should have, but that was the weird thing. I was so used to teachers just instinctively always liking me, but it was like, what do you mean this one has it out for me? What do you mean she doesn't like me? I'm not used to them not liking me. I'm used to kids not liking me. I'm not used to the teachers not liking me. Like, what the hell? I don't understand. I mean, I even had a few teachers who liked me a little too weird like me, but that's a whole other story for another day. I mean, that one gym teacher, but she never like did anything, just to clarify, but just definite creeper vibes. But yeah, I mean, just it was weird since, I mean, you could go through my whole school history, and with the exception of, like, maybe my 4th grade teacher, just because she kind of hated everybody equal, pretty much every teacher I've ever had my whole life has pretty much liked me. And I'm not saying that to be full of myself, because I don't think you'll meet many people who hate themselves more than I do, but, literally, no, this is just a thing. Teachers instinctively liked me because they could relate to me because of my interests. They always had something relevant that they could tell me about, or they saw some Beetle thing that made them think of me, and it would open a dialogue when otherwise I was just this shy, quiet, timid little thing who was scared to even speak, but the second you'd bring that up, boom, you'd get me talking for days and not be able to shut me up. So it was just one of those things. But to have a teacher not only not like me, but would try to ruin my name like that. Like, what the hell? And again, that's something that goes on your permanent record and followed me every year after that. I mean, luckily, I was only at that high school one more year beyond this, not even a full year, because I think it was actually October. Hell, it could be the anniversary of that too, right about now. That I switched into independent study. So, and then I just had the same teacher every single year. But, and he adored the shit out of me. I still talk to him on Facebook. So, anyway, yeah, he was cool. But, yeah, it was just so bizarre. I was just like, this doesn't even make sense. This doesn't make sense. If I had wronged her in some way, I could understand her having, like, a vendetta, but it was like, I did nothing. I did literally nothing. But apparently that was the thing that was in common across all, like, 4 of the people that she screwed over like this, was that not only did we do nothing to her to trigger this, but all of us had previously had pretty much squeaky clean, spotless permanent records. We'd never really done anything worth getting in trouble over. So, as you do. But it was like, wow, really? Maybe she just had a thing against people who had never been in trouble before and couldn't stand it. Maybe she was like a real bad girl in school and like had a fucked record or so. I don't even know. I have honestly wondered what this was all about for years. Ever since. I mean, this was, oh my god, like 17 years ago now, and I still am just asking myself, why? Why did that happen? And I don't think I'll ever know for sure what the reason was, because I don't think there was a concrete reason why it happened other than she was batshit insane. So, I mean, I don't like using that term lightly against people, but no, this woman honestly was. But, yeah, that is the famous pen incident. When people used to, like, ask me about it, like, pre-YouTube days and pre-being able to, like, speak it verbally, if I had to type this out, it would, like, take me over an hour every time I would try to explain this whole situation. People would just be so overwhelmed that they'd be like, holy shit, and, like, be like, I think I need to go, and I'm like, no, don't be scared off, damn it, I didn't actually do anything, but you wanted to know about the thing, and I don't know. But yeah, that was the time I got suspended. There was plenty of things I probably should have been suspended for, like, the time that I graffitied the girls' bathroom and declared it as performance art, and then they didn't even, like, count it against me. I was like, but I tried to get in trouble that day, and you aren't getting me in trouble. What the hell? But then again, yeah, my idea of being bad was shit like that, so, but yeah, so to have something that I actually got suspended for, and it for, just to be for something I didn't even do, it's like, story of my life. Of course. But it's like, hey, I have a bad girl reputation now, I've been suspended. For what? For something I didn't do. Womp womp. Yeah, I know. But anyway. I technically was also expelled from that school, but only on a technicality, so I didn't actually do anything bad other than literally fail myself out of the school. So, there's that. That's like the extent of my bad girl days. It's like, damn it, I'm too good. And apparently always was, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, I've been asked, because I've like briefly referenced the pen incident before, and people have been curious about what is this pen incident. It's like, one day I'll tell you guys. Well, the day's here, and that was it. That was the pen incident. It's convoluted and it's fucked up, and it shouldn't have happened given I didn't do anything wrong. But that was the pen incident. So anyway. Although, for years afterwards, and sometimes even still now, my dad still makes fun of me, like, oh, don't give Jennifer a pen. I'm like, oh my god, shut up. I mean, to him it's a big joke, because he knows that nothing actually happened, but it's fun for him to be able to laugh at for some reason. I don't know if it's like a coping mechanism of his or what, or he just finds it that funny. I'm like, dude, that was traumatizing to me. Don't make fun of me for that, okay? I didn't even do it. If I had actually done it, okay, go nuts. But I didn't do that, though, so... Okay, whatever. But, yeah, that was the time I got suspended. I don't know what else to say about it, so, yeah, that. Any of you guys... God, there's, like, no way of making this not awkward now. Any of you guys ever been suspended, either for something you did or something you didn't do but you got suspended for anyway? Leave it in the comments. Wow, yeah, okay, I need to just shut up and go, because there's, like, no way of salvaging this video at this point. Oh my god. Okay, so, I'm gonna go. Bye.